If you're on a GLP-1 medication like I am, and you feel like you're a really slow loser, I know how frustrating that can be. I'm on my 64th shot of GLP-1 medication, and I average a loss of 2/3 of a pound per week. I've talked a lot about how this has felt pretty slow for me, and today I want to talk about, is it actually slow? Let's talk about what slow really means. And stick around for the end because I'm going to talk about what to do if you're feeling really discouraged or feeling really frustrated with the pace of your GLP-1 journey. Okay, let's go. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bobby. For a little over a year now, I've been sharing my GLP-1 weight loss journey after menopause here on YouTube, and I'm glad you're here. I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm a therapist, but I'm not your therapist. So all of this is just me sharing my experience and what's working for me. Always do what works for you, and always talk to your own doctor, your own healthcare providers when you're making decisions for yourself. My starting weight last year was 210.1 pounds. And right now, I'm not sure exactly what I weigh. Next week will be my weigh-in update. I'm around 170 last time I weighed myself, so I'm down about 40 pounds. Before the GLP-1, I could not lose weight after menopause. Before menopause, it was fine. But after menopause, I just really struggled, and the GLP-1 has been the only thing that has allowed my body to lose weight, even though I was doing all of the right lifestyle interventions that had always helped me lose weight in the past. Menopause was really weird that way for me. I'm currently on 7.5 milligrams of Zepbound. I'm getting closer to my goal weight. I don't know what that specific weight is, but I think it's going to be in the next 10 pounds or so. I'm 5'9", and based on the past and what I've weighed in the past, somewhere in the 160s, I think, is healthy for me, especially when I'm strength training and I know that my lean body mass is in a good spot. So people, definitely including myself, can be really quick to label themselves as slow losers when the weight comes off in, less than a pound a week, even though we're working really hard. I think we have this ingrained idea that there should be a quicker way to do this. And it is quicker for some people. There's a range of weight loss that can be normal, from 0.5 pounds to 2 pounds per week. And then occasionally people, especially if they have a lot of weight to lose, will lose more than that per week, particularly in the early weeks of trying to lose weight, because the body sheds a lot of excess water. And lo and behold, I fall in that range. On the lower end, sure, at 2/3 a pound a week, I'm on the low end of normal, healthy weight loss. And yet I keep struggling with the feeling that it's slow. I keep talking about how it feels slow. The diet industry has fed us decades of false expectations. Lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, or lose 5 pounds overnight. And all of that conditioning makes a normal, healthy pace feel slow. I know I've been fed marketing messages my whole life about, losing weight really fast and pounds melting off. And I feel like, I wasn't falling for it, but I think it, got in there anyway. It can be tempting to think of GLP-1 medication as something that will speed up weight loss. I think of it more now as a metabolism repairer.
It's editing, Bobby. So I've been using the term slow loser in this video, but a term you might have heard specifically related to GLP-1s is slow responder. And I want to talk for a minute about what that means, because if you think you might be a slow responder to GLP-1s, it might feel discouraging, like the medication isn't working, or that it doesn't work as well for you. And actually, that is not what that term means at all. All it means is that in the first 12 to 16 weeks of clinical trials, the slow responder group was people who lost less than 3% of their body weight at 12 weeks and less than 5% at 16 weeks. So if you are losing weight at all, but just really slow, and you're called a slow responder, here is the kicker. Here's the really good news. The slow responder group caught up later to the people who responded more quickly to the medication. And on average, there was no correlation in long-term outcome for people who were slow responders versus faster responders. In other words, your 12-month results matter a lot more than your 12-week results. The takeaway from this is that even small, steady weight loss predicts long-term success. So instead of slow responder or slow loser, think of it as normal responder with a calm trajectory.
The reality check is that I'm literally not a slow loser. I need to start identifying as being a normal, healthy loser. And I want to ask for your help and support, and to support you in also not identifying as a slow loser if you're making steady progress towards your goals. In past episodes, I've asked people to put a turtle in the comments if they identify as a slow loser like I do. And I know I'm not alone. I know there are so many of you out there, but I think we need to reclaim the fact that we're not slow, we're normal. It's that expectation of losing a few pounds every week, losing 10 pounds every month. That's the part that needs to get repaired. I have a new emoji that I'll tell you about in a few minutes, besides a turtle, for us to share now, so we can support each other in celebrating steady, healthy, sustainable weight loss. And I know there are people out there who are hearing this who are thinking maybe I'm just full of BS, or I'm making excuses because I haven't been trying hard enough. Generally speaking, I get two types of comments about like the pace of my GLP-1 journey. By far the most common is you guys commenting like, I'm losing slowly too. It's really frustrating. I thought there was something wrong with me. I'm glad I found your channel because my journey has been very similar to yours. And that is what is keeping me going, and that's something I really love about this community, is we can validate each other, that we can have a really healthy lifestyle, eat right, exercise, and lose, 2 pounds a month. And instead of thinking, God, what's wrong with me? We can think, that's normal, that's healthy. I plead guilty to falling for that frustration of feeling like that's slow. I still struggle with it, but I'm trying to do better. So the first type of comment lets me know I'm not alone. The second type of comment that thankfully is less common, but I definitely get these on a regular basis, are comments like, if it took you a year to lose 35 pounds, you've been wasting your money on GLP-1s. You must be eating too much. Or if you followed my plan, you'd be losing a lot faster. You don't need medication. I don't understand why you couldn't just eat less and exercise more. These two categories of comments, I think both perspectives reflect a misunderstanding. There's nothing wrong with losing weight slowly, especially after menopause. If you're enjoying this, feel free to subscribe. And remember to hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm show this to more people who would be interested in content like this. Thanks. And if you want to hear more from me, you can sign up for my email newsletter. I send out a newsletter about every 2 weeks, and it's usually stuff that didn't make it into the YouTube video, or some behind the scenes or sneak peek things, stuff like that. I'll leave the link in the description below. Honestly, I think my whole life, my body's pace of losing weight when I've needed to lose some weight has been normal. Not like super fast loser and not super slow, but just kind of in the normal range until the few years between menopause and when I started the GLP-1. That was the only time in my life when I couldn't lose weight. Obesity in older life runs in my family. So before I started a GLP-1, I was starting to wonder, like, is this just my fate? No matter what I do, no matter how I eat or exercise or anything, my weight is creeping up. Do I just have the disease of obesity now after menopause, like my aunt and my grandmother did? I was starting to think there was nothing I could do, and that's when I tried the GLP-1, and it has been the only thing that has helped me. It was not a silver bullet. I still have to do all the things that some people tell me is all I need to lose weight, and they just clearly they don't know me. So in my younger years, my body's happy place to lose weight or to release weight was 1 pound a week, and now it's 2/3 a pound a week after menopause. And I'm in the middle of a huge mindset shift of embracing that as normal and healthy. And I know everybody's different, and I know some people, their body's happy place will be less than that, and some people's will be more. With GLP-1s, it adds another factor into the equation that some people are super responders, even if their bodies were slow to respond to weight loss efforts before the GLP-1. When they get on Zepbound or whatever medication they start, they are super responders and they lose weight really fast. There's no one right way to do this, but my point today is that the way that my body is doing it is one of the right ways. I want you to remember that progress is progress, even if it's 0.2 pounds a week. I'm going to pull up a graph here that I made for an episode a few weeks ago because it illustrates this point that I'm making, that however slow your journey is, it doesn't matter. You're making progress towards maintenance. And if you get to maintenance like the slow responder, all you do is spend a little more time in weight loss mode, a little less time in maintenance mode, but you got there. And the two journeys of the super responder and the slow responder, they don't look that different. I just know that it's hard to be patient, and we have been conditioned to have expectations that it would be faster than this. So in the past, I've asked you to put a turtle emoji in the comments if you're a slow loser like me. Let's change the dialogue. Let's flip the script. Leave a caterpillar emoji in the comments if things feel slow for you, but you're actually making progress. The caterpillar is determined and it builds its cocoon, knowing that it's going to emerge as a butterfly. It takes its time, but it knows exactly where it's going. So leave a caterpillar emoji in the comments if you can relate to this feeling of moving slowly towards your goals. And if moving at the pace that your body wants to move at is giving you frustration and discouragement, my first suggestion is that you watch this video I made about the cognitive behavioral techniques that I've been using on myself for me to deal with this whole like, oh my gosh, this is so slow, what is wrong? All of those thoughts and feelings. I rewatch that episode sometimes to help me, which is really funny. I'm like, that lady's smart, because it's easy to forget. And I do want to say I'm in a much better place now than I was a year ago in terms of my expectations of progress and my acceptance of, any progress is good. I still struggle with feeling slow sometimes, but it does get better the more you kind of work at realizing that there isn't anything wrong. This is just a marathon, not a sprint. My second suggestion is to stop comparing right now. I know that's a big ask because I still do it too. But if you can notice when you're comparing your journey to someone else's and feeling like maybe yours isn't fast enough, I want you to remember that our individual differences are vast, and think about where you've come relative to your own health, your own weight, your own history. If you're putting in the work and you're making any forward progress, that is a success story. That is a sign that you're responding and that nothing's wrong, and that really all you need to do is stay the course. My next suggestion is to focus on things you can control, like anchor your attention to your behaviors, not to the results of your behaviors. What does this mean? I'll give you some examples for myself. It means I track how often I eat 3 meals a day, because that's a behavior I can control. I strength train my upper body twice a week, my lower body twice a week. If I pay attention to meeting that goal or feeling the success of, I did it, I did my upper body twice and my lower body twice this week, that's the result that I can control. I'm not looking at, do I look all muscular in the mirror, or how do I weigh, or how much muscle have I gained? Things that are out of my control. But in my control is, did I get there and lift the weights? Did I walk the miles that I wanted to walk? Did I get the protein that I want to get? Part of the reason I don't weigh myself every day, I weigh myself like 2 or 3 times a week, is because I do want to get more distance between me and that number. And then in terms of other data, it's more like getting my protein in, getting my exercise in, getting my water in. Speaking of water. And then finally, I want you to give yourself all the credit for the direction you're moving in. We're working hard, you guys. I talked to you in the comments. You guys are amazing. You're eating healthy foods, you're getting your protein in, you're exercising. Like, I see you guys. You're doing all the things. How could it not help your health? Even if it seems like the weight loss part of the journey is frustrating or slow or not responding, your health is responding. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Remember to leave a caterpillar emoji in the comments if you have dealt with feeling like you are a slow loser, even though you're making progress. And if you're really familiar with the frustration of feeling like your progress is slow, watch this video next. Thanks so much. See you next week. Bye.